I've been wanting to make this video for over a month, but here it is. I'm going to give you guys as good of an update as I can on the aftermarket situation for the new BRZ and the GR86. As of right now, most of the modifications that people are doing are exhausts and coilovers and aftermarket wheels and tires. The fitment with aftermarket wheels and tires, while the car is lowered, that's a whole other topic that I'll have to do in another video. This is going to be mostly performance related parts. So the categories I have are Catback exhaust, front pipe, intake, and then I have a little bit of coilover information, and then supercharger. I do plan on getting the HKS GT2 supercharger for my BRZ. So let's start with Catback exhausts. Now, I've had my HKS system on the car for about a month, and I like it. It's not perfect. There are others that I think sound better, like the MXP, so I think I might trade mine for one of those pretty soon. Basically, all of the first gen Catback exhaust bolt straight up to the new twins, which is really cool. So that begs the question, are these manufacturers even going to make new exhaust systems for the 2022 and up? Probably most of them will, because it is a larger engine, it is making a lot more power. So for Catbacks, I have here the HKS High Power Spec-L. This is available now. This is created for the first gen, but a lot of people have been putting them on their 2022s. This is my current system. As far as power increase, I have a link here. Now this is from late 2012. This is right when the first generation came out. In this video, this thread shows that the agency power exhaust system, it made 6 horsepower and 7 torque over the stock exhaust. And that is without any tuning. I don't think everyone's gonna see that. Another one I think sounds really cool is the Arc Grip Catback exhaust. And then basically any first gen Catback will fit. First gen axle backs will not bolt right up to the new BRZ, so keep that in mind. Upcoming exhaust systems that we know of. I did do some digging. I emailed MagnaFlow, emailed HKS. I looked through all these manufacturers like Instagram profiles, and this is all I could come up with as of today, January 12th. HKS has been on the ball with giving us news about their upcoming releases and stuff like that. So we had the Spec-L and the Spec-L2. The Spec-L2, it's made specifically for them in Japan because they have really strict exhaust laws. So if you want a super duper quiet exhaust for a lot of money, then go ahead and get the Spec-L2, but I have the Spec-L. And if I click on this link here in my notes, so this is all of their upcoming stuff, and this is HKS's version of a decked out GR86, which I think looks pretty cool. But I do want to note something. Their fitment, their wheels and tires, looks a little suspicious. So if you scroll down to the bottom of the screen, I guess I'll just do the coilover stuff now. I assume at the time they posted this was their prototype Hypermax coilover kit, $2,100, and here is all the information for the test fitting. So 18 by 9.5 plus 50 offset, so they don't want it to poke out too much, which I like. If we go back to the picture, these are probably the 245/35 series sidewall that they had in their remarks. It looks like they only lowered it a tiny bit because they know that if you lower it anymore, it's going to destroy your quarter panel. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not for that. It's a $30,000 car. I'm just a regular dude. I'm not, I don't make too much money, and I want to modify my car within reasonable means. And I'm sure most of you guys are like that too. From what I've seen so far, running 9.5-inch wheels is pretty much a no-go unless you want to cut your fenders or do whatever. I know I sound like a noob, but that's really all I know about the coilover situation so far. And then HKS has the Spec-L coming out, as well as the Liga Max. From what I understand, the Liga Max is an axleback exhaust for $1,000. So, back to the spreadsheet. We have 2 different MagnaFlow systems coming out, which I'm pretty excited for. I think the MagnaFlow systems look really good. The only part you can see the tips. The tips look really good in my opinion. I went on MagnaFlow's website a few weeks ago and I spoke to a guy online named Cody, who's an employee there. I said, hey, when are these systems actually going to be available? He said they're scheduled for March, but they're going to try to get them out in February or even sooner. The video where TJ Hunt first reviewed a BRZ with a MagnaFlow system on it, it sounded pretty good. Next we have front pipes. The front pipes from the first gen do bolt right up. From what I've seen, the clearance is a little suspicious with some people, and some people say they have no problems. But we do have an HKS catted front pipe that is scheduled to come out in February. MSRP of $450, so these parts are getting expensive, but that's just the way things are going. I haven't seen anything about them possibly releasing a catless front pipe, so when this is available, I definitely want to get this front pipe. Open up the exhaust a little more. I don't really care about the power because I'm going to get the supercharger anyway, so. Now, what kind of power do you gain from an aftermarket front pipe on these BRZs? Well, this is coming from Perrin regarding the first generation BRZ, showing an increase of 5 to 8 wheel horsepower. And this is on a stock tuned BRZ, so they haven't touched the ECU, they just bolted the parts right up, did some dyno runs. 5 to 8 wheel horsepower. You know, and basically the closer you get to the engine, the more restriction there is. I just can't wait to make my BRZ louder, but I want to do it the right way. I want to get proper parts that were designed for the 2022 model specifically. With the headers, I don't have anything here on my spreadsheet, but I can tell you several people have tried putting them on and they bolt right up. But this one person here actually showed that on a dyno, it made a little bit less horsepower up top.
Up in this region, however, there is a loss in power compared to those OEM headers. So the overall loss in power, in peak power that is about 6 horsepower between the OEM headers and the Borlas. And then here, the gain in peak torque, we're looking at about 13 foot-pounds.
And obviously this is not a straight line car, I get it. Here's a little video of a JDL front pipe from the Gen 1. I like the sound of that a lot. Several people have been putting on the Perrin 3-inch catback. I think it sounds really good. I think both the MXP and the Perrin sound a little better than the HKS, and that's just my opinion. So I'm definitely going to be switching my exhaust system soon. And if you didn't see the video where I first got the HKS system installed on my BRZ, I did say that I will be giving that a system away when I do pick up another one. So by that time, I'll probably be in Florida. So someone down in Florida is going to get lucky and they're going to get a free exhaust. But I don't know, it might be worth getting one of the Gen 1 front pipes right now for the sake of just having fun and, you know, making the exhaust sound a little better. And then I'll just give that away too when I get a front pipe that was made specifically for the 2022s. Next we have intakes. A lot of these, almost all these manufacturers have been totally silent about the cold air intake situation. We have very little information from HKS, and the availability, all I have written down here is early 2022. So let's click onto their website again. It says super air filter, air intake pipe, racing suction, and the cold air intake itself is scheduled to release in May 2022. But I'm going to speculate that it's going to take a little longer than that. Reason for that is I just emailed Alex from M8 Performance. And if you guys are new to my channel, I purchase a lot of my modifications from M8 Performance. My cat is causing a disruption. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. What are you doing? Yeah, you're a very good girl. Very good girl. Anyway, I love M8 Performance. They have phenomenal customer service. Just a bunch of great guys over there. Alex did a little digging for me, baby, and he found out that HKS has actually pushed back the release of their supercharger. It was originally supposed to be released in February of this year. Well, Alex said that he found the part number and estimated MSRP of $4,000, which that is consistent with what's on HKS's website. And then he later said they got back to him and their ETA on the kit and order status has changed since the blog post was up on their website. So their website is old news right now. The new ETA for the kit is April to May and will not be able to be purchased until then. I'm going to try to get my hands on the supercharger kit as soon as humanly possible. I had the money set aside. I'm ready to make a pre-order whenever able to. Am I gonna blow my engine? Yeah, probably. And then some header information. This is on HKS's website. It just says to be release, and the product is Super Manifold GT Spec. So I assume, with a little bit of critical thinking, that that means header. And scheduled to release in April 2022 with catalyzer. So we're gonna have a high flow cat, and then we're gonna have a high flow cat in the front pipe. I'll be in Florida, so down the line I probably will be doing a catless front pipe, and then it's just gonna be really loud, but that's okay. Electronics, I'm just gonna go through the rest of HKS's stuff. DSLD, which is a speed limit defensor. Mastery ECU under development, so I think that's probably one of the reasons why the cold air intakes and the supercharger and turbo kits are going to be taking longer than expected, is because I haven't seen any information about anyone breaking into this ECU yet. And that's like the number one thing when they're doing parts development. Babe, what are you doing? Come here. You're a very good kitty. You're mischievous. So if they can't break into the ECU, I mean, you can't just put a supercharger kit or like a really aggressive cold air intake on your new BRZ without, altering the ECU. You're going to need a piggyback system of some sort at the very least. No, you're going to lay here right here with Daddy. Engine, cylinder head gasket, capacity up, short block FA25? Holy crap. That's probably going to be expensive, but really cool at the same time. And then complete engine to be developed. That's these parts are gonna be a while. Then we have a bunch of GR parts and accessories. Japanparts.com, and I have links to all this stuff in the description of this video. They have the HKS exhausts on here and HKS super air filter. Interesting. So that's what that is. It's just a drop-in filter. You know what? I'm gonna order that right at the end of this video, just because it's something to do. Let me know if you guys would like to see before and after dyno runs. So you can look through this list of offerings on japanparts.com at your convenience. That's in the description. So that pretty much covers all of the engine exhaust related performance parts that I was able to track down information on as of yet. Well, it is now Friday, January 14th, 10:22 a.m., and the Tokyo Auto Salon is going on right now. There is so much stuff coming out about a ton of cool cars that we are all going to love. Right here, I want to talk about one last thing with the BRZ and the GR86. It's from Avo Turbo World. I've never heard of them before, but I guess they have an American, their United States office is in Oregon. Project BRZ 2022 third step. In their testing, and mind you, no one has been able to crack the ECU yet still. So this is totally on the stock tune. With their 2.5-inch front pipe and catback exhaust, they gained 8 horsepower and 8 foot-pounds of torque. And then by adding their bolt-on replacement header with a 2-inch crossover pipe. So that's a little pipe that goes from the header to the start of the front pipe. I know it's a little confusing. From the standard vehicle making 223 horsepower and 190 foot-pounds of torque, after all said and done, they were able to make 239.9 horsepower, so 240 horsepower to the wheels, and 211 foot-pounds of torque. Look at this graph. That is interesting. It looks like a really big peak right there in the torque curve. This is in the description as well. I just want to throw this in there because this is new news. They did say that the air-to-fuel ratios were not exactly where they wanted them. So the ECU is, actively, it's trying to do its best, but it's also trying to not make the car knock and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, so check this out for yourselves, and let me know if you guys would like me to cover a little more of what's going on at the Tokyo Auto Salon. Thank you guys very much. Probably gonna go install something today because I have 4 things to install. I've just been very lazy. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you for watching.